from 4 matches. The West Indies only 2 wins from 4 matches and at the moment just outside the top 4. Remember, 4 teams will go to the semi-finals after the preliminary round of 8 matches for each team. The forecast for today is for some showers during the day, so I wonder if that's going to affect the thinking of the captain who wins the toss. Let's go out to the middle for the toss now. Richie Richardson of the West Indies, Martin Crowe of New Zealand, and they're out there with Keith Quinn.
We're going to bowl. See if we can get them out early.
What do you think of the conditions here this morning? Remarkable transformation.
Yeah, fantastic. I expected a delay, but they got everything right, and looks as though it's going to be a reasonable day.
Okay, Martin, your team's been more or less published. Can you confirm for us that the 3 guys who are not playing?
John Wright, Chris Cairns and Murphy Searle.
Okay, Martin, thank you.
Thank you,
well.
Keith. Thanks.
Richie Richardson, would you like to have won that one?
Well, if I'd won, I think I would have batted. So
it's worked out pretty well.
It didn't matter really. I think the wicket looks good. But the outfield is pretty wet to me, and I believe, bowling with a wet ball would be quite difficult. So, I would have.
It's not nice and humid here today. Is it a bit more like conditions at home?
Well, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and that's what it's normally like. But apart from the green outfield, I mean, it's very much like home here.
Okay, Richie, who's not playing in your team today?
Simmons, Patterson, and Harper.
So here's the West Indies side for this match against New Zealand. Haynes and Lara to open the batting. Richardson to come in at number 3, then Hooper, Arthurton and Logie, the rest of the specialist batting lineup. Malcolm Marshall up as high as number 7 as the all-rounder. David Williams, the wicket-keeper, then the pace bowlers to finish. Kirtley Ambrose, Winston Benjamin and Anderson Cummins. The New Zealand side for today, Mark Greatbatch preferred over John Wright as the opening batsman. Rod Latham to go in with him, then Jones, Crowe, Rutherford, Harris, Patel, Smith, Larson, Morrison in the side ahead of Chris Cairns today, and Willie Watson to complete the lineup back in the New Zealand team. So, Martin Crowe, the New Zealand captain, has won the toss and asked the West Indies to bat first. It's Haynes and Lara to open, with New Zealand using Danny Morrison, and once again, their ace card, Deepak Patel, to share the new ball.
And there's the first runs, and it's taken them, 14 balls, and we're in the 3rd over. And Desmond Haynes just get nipped on the fingers again. The ball by Morrison, big call. Looked fairly close first time out. Let's have another look.
Well, it did look pretty good. Well, did a bit. Judge for yourself. Yeah, it did quite a lot.
And that's exactly it. Short outside the off stump, just as Glenn was saying, and it was hit away for 4. That was a bad ball. It's in the air, it's over the top, it's 4 runs, and giving Morrison there again, giving Lara a little bit of room outside the off stump, a little bit of width, and Lara gratefully accepted it.
It's in the air, and just over his head. Agonizingly close. Tremendous effort by
Danny Morrison. If he'd just been another 6 inches taller, Tony, I think he might have had that one. We see here that he didn't really get onto this, did he? And Danny had to run back quite a way, but it was a great effort. In fact, often those ones stick, don't they, if you can just get near them?
He's got that one. That's the middle of the bat. So Larson being too short here. And Brian Lara quickly fastening on to the second one.
Yes, at Larson's pace, you can't afford to be short to players like Lara. He's so strong in that area, Tony, and we saw there that he really got onto that, didn't he? Larson's got to get up, get him coming forward.
Lovely shot. A beautiful straight drive by Brian Lara, who's now started to accelerate, and this is what the West Indies really were looking for. Rather desperate situation with the first. And he's banged that away as well. This could go all the way. The outfield is a bit slow after last night's rains, but it just has enough carry to reach the boundary. And that's just the type of over the West. It's in the air, and it's gone all the way. He's got hold of it for 6. Just dropping it in a little too short, and Desi Haynes has dispatched it over that short square boundary.
Yes, he just played it so easily, didn't he? He didn't seem to have any power at all in that shot, but look at where it went to, up into the terraces there. Just can't afford to bowl short to players of Haynes' ability.
typical Desmond Haynes shot. He really is very adept at that little guide through the vacant slips area in the one-day game. So he's starting out to accelerate. The West Indies have reached their 15th and the 17th over.
Haynes starting to get the momentum going. He's toned it very well. Larson might struggle to get it. He did it pretty well, Richard, because it's fairly damp down there. And although that might have slowed the ball, it also made it difficult for Larson to get to it. And it's a lovely shot from Lara down the ground. It was in the air a bit, but really gave Paulie Watson no chance. And the 19th over's come to an end. It's 65 for none. Oh, it's a chance for Clinton. And Harris has scored once again. And his first over, Chris Harris has taken a wicket with a magnificent clean bowl from Haynes. Haynes, clean bowled Harris, 22. And the West Indies have lost their first wicket at 65 in the 20th over.
Well, New Zealand have waited a long time for this wicket. Harris just moving that ball into Haynes. A little bit of bottom hand there and a very good diving catch. And New Zealand fielders or bowlers have been very good at taking important bowls in this competition. And Desmond Haynes, he'll be disappointed to get out, but 65 for 1, New Zealand will be happy.
Patel would have done better to dive then. He's not going to stop that. It's 4 runs. Beautifully timed by Lara. He just leant into that. I think if Patel had launched himself like a diver, he might have stopped him.
Yes, he did. He just stroked that. He didn't even follow through. So it just shows, doesn't it? If you get the ball in the middle of the bat and your timing right, how it can still go through to the boundary.
Oh, that was through Richardson. Again, he didn't come right forward. Again, there was that sort of walking stroke. Could so easily have given Smith a catch.
I think it may have left him here, actually. Yes, he played inside it. Goodish delivery. But once again, a lack of foot movement there. Just caught on the crease. And the ball doing a little bit and being left stranded.
Yeah. Brian Lara gets his third 50 in the competition, his 5th overall in one-day internationals for the West Indies. The little left-hander from Trinidad and Tobago has played very well for his 50.
Played very well, hasn't he? Played some big innings, that innings when he got 88. Looking to see not a lot of boundaries, but he certainly picked up the 1s and 2s.
In this competition, Brian Lara has been caught at point. He was caught there against South Africa, against Zimbabwe, and now for the 3rd successive time he's been caught at point after making 52.
You're seeing here, this ball actually bounced a bit on him, didn't it? He didn't really have the room, and as you said, once again, caught in that region, but well batted. He's batted well for the West Indies this morning.
Save. These New Zealanders really are playing it as if they intend to win this competition. They've done that from the very start, and that's a magnificent effort on the boundary up there from Danny Morrison. Patel with his last over now. And the West Indies have raised 100 in the 32nd over. Just the 2 wickets down, so they've got the base for some aggression towards the end of the innings, but they'll need it. That's a huge hit, but it's a catch as well. Back there waiting for it to drop and taken deep, well on. He had to wait an eternity out there, Mark Greatbatch. And Carl Hooper goes, caught by Greatbatch on the fence. That ball had icicles on it before it came down. And the West Indies have lost their 3rd wicket. Carl Hooper going cheaply once more.
As we're going to see here, he decided to get out to the top one to him. Got a lot of height on that. But this was a very well-judged catch. Look how long Greatbatch had to wait for it to come, and he made sure he took it. But another blow to the West Indies. But a great wicket for New Zealand.
Well, he can't be short like that. That was too short, too easy, and Atherton has his first boundary.
Well, Latham was a lot slower than any of the other New Zealand bowlers, with the exception of spin bowler Patel, of course. But Latham has been a bit of a surprise package for New Zealand and did quite a good job, particularly against the Englishmen in the domestic international series. But in the World Cup, he has struggled.
There he goes again, the same plays. It's not protected yet either.
Well, if he's going to bowl short outside the off stump, then really he's got to have a man square on the boundary. The cover point boundary, I mean, that's short and wide, just sits up to be smashed. And Arthurton's been very severe there. So really he's got to straighten up his line and get his length right.
Oh, it's a wide ball.
That's going to be 4 byes.
4 wides, I think, Richard. Wait for the umpire.
It is 4 wides. Well, Ian Smith would normally stop those, but really it's the fault of the bowler. He's certainly not getting the target right. It's going wider and wider, wasn't it?
So it's Richie Richardson and Keith Atherton together. 12 overs to go as Willie Watson starts over number 39. The ball's high in the air. Smith's underneath it. Wait for this. It's out. First ball after drinks. West Indies captain is gone. It was time for a summit conference while that ball was in the air, Bob.
Once again, when these guys hit it, we see here, it wasn't short enough to pull. And all he succeeded in doing was getting up in the air. Look how long Smithy had to wait. But I'm so pleased to see the keeper there with the gloves on, because they're the ones to catch those steeplers. But what a blow from New Zealand. That's just what they needed. These two looked as if they were getting on with the job.
Richie Richardson gone for 29, 136 for 4.
Yeah, very casual here, and I was almost going to suggest that Crow bring in another fielder to keep Logie on strike as the incoming batsman. Let's watch and just see. Well, no, it's nipped back through the gate. He just pushed through it, left a nice little hole there between bat and pad. Harris got the ball to move in, but Logie won't be happy with that. 142 for 5. He's bowled him. Marshall trying to hoist the government wicket, missed the shot. Larson gets his second wicket. The West Indies lose their 6th at 156 in over number 46.
Yes, we're going to see here that Marshall looking to hit this ball over mid-on. It was a straight ball. If it deviated at all, he knew, Tony, I think it just drifted in, but rather a loose shot. And the score at the moment is the West Indies are 156 for 6 in the 45th over.
He's got it away, that's 4. Just a little leg glance to a low full toss, and Williams has got it away for 4. Full toss, bad ball, put away by Williams. On the first bounce for 4. So New Zealand just starting to lose their way a bit here. Bad ball, full toss.
Yes, we're seeing here, that just sat up there and asked to be hit to the boundary.
Just inside the boundary, so Williams has started to go now, and he's got another boundary. He's had 3 boundaries so far, and just enforcing the confidence which Captain Richardson has had in him in putting him above Ambrose.
Yes, we see there that ball was wide. He hit it on the up. There was no man back at long on, so all he had to do was hit it over the who was the ring, and it was 4 runs.
And that's another one. We'll go for 4, so Williams really on fire here. It's his highest one in the national score, and he really still started now to open up against Willie Watson.
This is a magnificent shot. Look at this. Foot to the ball. Beautiful drive through the covers.
Well, it's not a bad ball to start the over now. Watson started the previous one with a full toss, which Williams hit before. He's just going to go the same way.
Well, this is very good striking by David Williams. Exactly what the West Indians want. Watson, he's trying to get the ball right up there on the block hole and bowl Yorkers, and that's where it's got to go. But a low full toss is probably just as bad as a short ball. I mean, you can just swing it away, and that's what Williams has done very effectively.
Atherton swings high, but Jones is down there.
Well, that's good running. And I don't know whether Martin Crowe would have been too happy with that fielding from Jones.
West Indies now on 4 and over as Atherton gets another full toss, and it's in the gap again, so they're picking the gap pretty well, the West Indies. And Willie Watson's full toss. 5 balls left, and there's the 200 for the West Indies. Might have a lot of that, but Smith must have been very close to having Atherton out. Oh, he's bowling. Danny Morrison bowled the ball and then pulled up a bit lame, and you can see that he's limping there. A bit of concern amongst the New Zealand camp for Danny Morrison, but also a bit of pleasure that he has bowled Atherton with just 1 ball remaining, and Atherton leaving bowled by Morrison for 40. It's 201 for 7.
Well bowled by Morrison, and well deserved too, because he started so well with the new ball and wasn't rewarded. He's come back late in the innings and dismissed Atherton. He's batted pretty well for his 40 runs, 54 deliveries, 3 boundaries in that.
So here's the last ball of the innings. It's Benjamin's first. And it's 1, it's 2. And 203 is the score. 203 for 7. After 50 overs have been completed, and some very good performances in the field by the New Zealanders have restricted the West Indies score to 203.
203 for 7. The West Indies scoring 45 runs in the last 5 overs, so they've done well to get up to 203 for 7. Coincidentally, the same score that India made in 32 overs against Zimbabwe yesterday in Hamilton. The top scorer, Brian Lara, 52 from 81 deliveries. Some solidity in the middle order there from Keith Atherton, 40 from 54 before he went in the last over. And David Williams hitting out well to score 32 at the end. 203 for 7 in 50 overs, the West Indies' final score. Here are the New Zealand bowling figures. Danny Morrison took a wicket in his last over. That was well deserved. Deepak Patel opened the bowling and did quite superbly in 3 spells, 1 for 19 from 10 overs. Willie Watson conceded 56, but 27 of those went in the last 2 overs. Gavin Larson, conversely, went for 14 in his first and came back to concede only 41 overall. Chris Harris was the best New Zealand bowler today, 2 for 32, and Rodgson had bowling experience.
Well, it's a good start for New Zealand. Welcome back, Bob.
Well, just a loosener, but a little bit of carry there, good bounce.
It's in the air and just over the head of Atherton, and there's the first runs off the bat, the first to go out, great catch, and he picks up a boundary.
Well, that's a rare delivery to the hip that's reasonably full, of course, on the leg stump there, and Great Batch very strong on his legs, what left-handers are, and really he dealt that one.
Outside leg.
Well, certainly pitched outside leg, and of course there's no way the batsman can be out LBW.
Stopped down there at fine leg by Cumming. He did his best. It was just fine of him. I thought for a moment it was going to be catchable.
Well, that's what great batch is there for. Anything sort of short, wide, full, over-tossed, anything of that nature, he's got to fly his bat at it.
Oh, it's over the top. It's just over the top of second slip. Had Ambrose been feeling it? No, not out. Umpire Peter McConnell was bringing his hands round. I thought perhaps to answer that appeal in the affirmative. Outside leg.
Well, certainly pitched outside leg, and of course there's no way the batsman can be out LBW.
Stopped down there at fine leg by Cumming. He did his best. It was just fine of him. I thought for a moment it was going to be catchable.
Well, that's what great batch is there for. Anything sort of short, wide, full, over-tossed, anything of that nature, he's got to fly his bat at it.
Oh, it's over the top. It's just over the top of second slip. Had Ambrose been feeling at second slip, he'd have bent down to catch that. But it's a typical game if you're going to end up Logie's height there, and away it went for 4. End of the over, 24 for no wicket. Oh my goodness me, he's hit that for 6. That was an extraordinary blow. He came to a pace down the wicket to Marshall, but it way over extra cover for 6. Unbelievable. I wonder if Marshall's ever been hit over extra cover for 6 in his life before.
Well, Malcolm Marshall, you're right, he just stood there and couldn't believe watching that ball whistle over wide mid-off for 6. And that was gone well over.
Well, how's Cummins going to reply to that? It's in the air. Is it over
It's
the top?
6.
It is at 6 runs. It's climbed as high as the Eiffel Tower. And there's 6 being signalled by Peter McConnell. And Great Batch is living merrily. He's gone to 29. And what a splendid stroke. It may have been a bit edgy, but I tell you what, it was taller than tall.
Yes, well, it certainly went very high. Short again. Great Batch getting under it, helping it on its way. That's back about 15 rows into the terraces.
Well, they got in. I don't know what would happen when it hit the stumps, but Latham was running down the wicket like a human cannonball, and indeed the ball ran into him. Isn't this exciting? It's 48 for no wicket. Martin Crowe in the headband there. You can just make him out. He'll be pleased. Oh, steered down to third man. It's a chase for Marshall. Or is it 4? I think it's gone through for 4. It has, and that is the 50. 50 coming up in the 10th over. A wonderful start for New Zealand. Great Batch has got 30. Latham, don't forget the part he's played too. He's made 12. And it really is all the fun of a super fair. It's in the air, down towards third line. Cummins, the fielder, 6 more. This is unbelievable stuff. And Curly Ambrose can't believe it, nor can Warren Lees. This is quite astonishing. Third 6 for Great Batch.
Well, it's a miscue, but fortune favours the brave. He's given himself some room and he's swung very hard indeed, and it's gone clear third man for another 6, and Curtly Ambrose just can't believe it.
Magnificent hit back past Cummins. That went like a rocket. Great Batch just on fire.
And Cummins here was under threat, really, of getting his head knocked off. With the batsman progressing down the wicket towards him and blasting it past him, even the umpire was in great danger with that one. He hit it as clean as a whistle. Stump vision.
He's got him, the first wicket is gone. So that break, which was caused by the crowd, I would suggest, has had an effect on the game. Immediately after it, the West Indies have come together. They've had a mid-pitch conference while the police were reinforcing themselves over on the far side, and immediately after that, a dismissal.
Yes, it was just short outside the off stump, perhaps didn't do a lot, and just hanging out the washing there. Latham, so New Zealand's first wicket down at 67 in the 12th over.
And that's a magnificent ball drive. Great match. Brilliant top four here. End of the over at 73 for 1.
Watch the drive and on drive. Now watch here, the timing. He's in beautiful position over the top of the ball and just pushes it very hard indeed through mid-on. Now that was a shot of class rather than some of the blunderbust shots that we've seen prior to that, which is very exciting and so on. But that was very unspectacular and yet showed real class.
Striking the ball beautifully.
Oh, this is through mid-off. They've got a long arm in to bring up that man. And that's great batches. 50 from just as many balls. That's his 6th one-day 50 and the second of this competition.
For 1. We're in the 18th over, so New Zealand have started with a rather slow and perhaps understandably hesitant start. But since the 5th over, they've decided to take the attack to the West Indies bowlers, and as they've been successful, the quality of the bowling has just wilted a little.
Swinging the first ball, coming to his next over, it was short, a little bit of width outside the off stump, but it went way over cover for 4 runs. So Great Batch has not lost the touch, he's merely biding his time. That was a handsome blow. Takes him to 60, it's 92 for 1. Oh, he's gone, he's out. Jones fought that off the back foot without moving his feet, got the edge, and Williams has taken his second catch, and New Zealand now 97 for 2. Jones has gone for 10.
Well, I suppose we shouldn't be too premature in predicting any New Zealand victory at this stage, because the loss of Andrew Jones is a bit of a blow to New Zealand, because he certainly very much an informed batsman and a very important member of the New Zealand innings. And that was a good dismissal, and New Zealand now 97 for 2 in the 22nd over.
There's a catch this time to deep cover. He's gone. He's slugged once too often. That's the wicket the West Indies won. Desmond Haynes has taken the catch. Great Batch goes. The West Indies have had, finally, something to cheer about. But what an innings from Great Batch.
Rather subdued for a while, Paddy Batch, charging this time, going towards the ball bouncing and going off the face and carrying all the way down to the offside sweeper, Desmond Haynes, who makes no mistake. So New Zealand now losing their 3rd wicket in the 24th over for 100.
Benjamin lost his footing coming around, and he goes for 4. He would have got there, but it's a little bit slippery from last night's rain. Short and down away. Benjamin just dropping little short and Paul very quickly to get onto it. So 2 boundaries in the last 2 overs for New Zealand.
It's a good shot from Rutherford, banged in short from Benjamin, trying his luck. And Crowe putting a big shot in the air though, he's going to just clear Haynes. Crowe gets an edge and gets a bit of luck too. That's a better shot. That's going to be another 4. It's going to beat Ambrose down there. Millions a very productive over for New Zealand, with 9 runs coming from the 8th over bowled by Benjamin. And Crowe's batting much better too, hitting that ball to backward point, and that's his 3rd 4 in 4 balls.
Yes, you'll see here in this replay that Hooper was just a little guilty of getting too wide there, giving Crowe a chance to free his arms.
Oh, that's another nick, and he's gone again. Williams has his 3rd catch. Ambrose has the 1st wicket, and New Zealand have lost their 4th wicket with Rutherford caught by Williams, bowled by Ambrose for 8. New Zealand are 135 for 4 in the 34th over.
As we see here, ball full and length, just a little bit of a way swab. Rutherford didn't really get to the pitch of the ball, pushed the bat out, orthodox catch to the keeper.
Well, really no footwork at all there from Ken Rutherford, so he's gone. He'll be disappointed. It's 135 for 4 now as drinks come onto the field.
Powerful shot by Harris. He's got it through. Well run, back for 3. 141 for 4. Crowe on the sweep. He's used that shot more often recently. That's 4 more. The over completed at Eden Park. And it's 145 for 4 after 35. Full toss. Straight down the long arm. This will be 4.
All it needs, Peter, is just the odd boundary coming each over, and that's exactly what's happening. And it just puts the game that much closer to New Zealand's chance of victory. Over pitch, you don't get too many of those. A full toss, in fact, and Crowe straight back down the pitch through mid-on.
Something to the crowd. That's the answer to the Mexican wave by Martin Crowe. 159 for 4. That's a brilliant stroke.
It was a good shot here. In fact, it's his 8th boundary, and was anything fractionally short, he's onto that very quickly. And this is what New Zealand have been doing in the last half dozen or so overs, where they have been giving that 4 ball away. Yes, but it's a captain's innings as well. 9 fours in that.
He's got it through. Cummins coming back and being too short once more. First delivery and Crowe pounces on it for yet another 4.
West Indies deciding they needed slip in there. And as a result, there's no offside sweeper. So Cummins has to be more accurate than that. As soon as the ball penetrated the field, it was always going to go through for 4.
He's gone. Cummins comes back and claims the wicket of Harris caught behind. It's perhaps not the batsman that New Zealand wanted to get, the West Indies wanted to get most, but at least it's a wicket. And New Zealand have lost their fifth at 174.
It's a fairly low-key dismissal here. It almost as though he just played it into the keeper's hands, and whenever Williams runs towards the stumps, you know that the batsman has nicked the ball. And so New Zealand now in the 42nd over, 174 for 5.
Shot for just a single from Patel to get off the mark.
Well, you would think that Patel had been in for ages playing that shot.
Haynes, and he's, well, not out, says the umpire. Haynes is sure he had him. Hit the stumps direct, and Desmond Haynes is dumbfounded that the umpire didn't give him out. Peter McConnell seemed to be in a very good position.
Yes, he did, and they got a second run as a result of this, but we'll just watch with interest. Patel, live, appeared to be short of his ground. Yes, well, a good meet.
Well short. No wonder Desmond Haynes looked to the heavens. Could even have been a bad one. And here's, oh my goodness gracious, another chance of a run out, and the West Indies muffed this one terribly. So Deepak Patel has got all the luck running for it.
But this shot was very strong. See how it goes away to the left of Ambrose, and he's almost on the ring, on the edge of the ring there, and so he's well away, and the fumbling that goes on.
He's batting in marvellous form now, and that's a perfect illustration of it. As we'll see here, Marshall over pitching, Crowe just playing it straight back, just slightly on the onside past the bowler, 4 runs. Patel playing another big shot. He's a man for the big shots, Bob. Well, really, it's what New Zealand need at this stage, isn't it? And Deepak's prepared to go for them. 194 for 5, 46. 10 runs needed for New Zealand's second ever victory in one-day internationals against the West Indies. And an historic occasion. The first one was in Christchurch at Lancaster Park, and here it looks as if Crowe will take them to victory. And that's going to beat Ambrose, is it? Oh, no, he gets around the boundary pretty quickly. Crowe in the air and safely. And that's the 200 for New Zealand. With the 48th over being bowled, New Zealand just need 204 for victory, and they've made 200 of them. Going back past Benjamin, and that's the win for New Zealand. The ball's in the air, the ball's dropped, but it's still going to go for 4. And as they did in Christchurch 10 years ago, Martin Crowe has slammed the ball and has taken the score to 206 for 5. New Zealand has beaten the West Indies, so New Zealand's been up for 5 matches in the Benson and Hedges World Cup of 1992. They've had 5 wins, and Martin Crowe has been a huge influence in the New Zealand performance. Magnificent innings again from the New Zealand captain, and he can well look very pleased as well as very tired after today's effort.
Well, New Zealand got an explosive start with Mark Greatbatch scoring 63 from 77 deliveries, including 3 sixes. A couple of them, shall we say, rather unorthodox shots, one over extra cover off Marshall and one over backward point off Curtly Ambrose. But Martin Crowe provided the rock-solid anchor for the innings after the loss of 1 or 2 wickets in the middle order. 81 from 81 deliveries he finished as he hit the winning runs as well. And New Zealand had 9 balls to spare at the end, 206 for 5, a win by 5 wickets. A look at those West Indian bowling figures. Well, Curtly Ambrose suffered a little under the onslaught of Mark Greatbatch. Malcolm Marshall did to a certain extent. Anderson Cummins was hit around by Crowe towards the end. Winston Benjamin bowled very well, ironically had the winning runs hit from him, and Carl Hooper was accurate with his off-spinners. So New Zealand continue their great form in this Benson and Hedges World Cup. They're 5 from 5 now. The West Indies have a few problems, only 2 wins from 5 matches. They've got to win 2 or 3 more, I'd suggest, to have a chance of making the semi-finals. Let's get the after-match comments now from the captains, Richie Richardson of the West Indies and Martin Crowe, who was also named as the Benson and Hedges Player of the Match.
We had to work really hard today to beat them because they're a very good side, and they got stuck in today when they only had 200 to defend. And they came at us, but we showed some guts and courage out there, and we came through, which is great.
Just going back to the West Indies batting, the Deepak Patel move came off again for the 3rd weekend in a row here at Eden Park. Did you ever think that you might not use that against the West Indies, knowing the way they tend to bat at times?
Sure. I thought that what we'd do was almost sort of call a bluff, if you like, bowl 2 overs and pull them off, just to sort of throw a little bit of uncertainty into their minds, perhaps. But did bowl well again, so why take him off? In fact, a rude taking him off at all, because the next over that I think Gavin bowled went for 14.
Richie Richardson, how did you guys cope or like the idea of facing a spin bowler so early on?
Well, it's not a usual thing, and I guess because the condition suits that. You know, he bowled well, and the wicket is a sort of wicket where, you know, it bites a bit, and the ball was, you know, the surface was a bit soft. So, and you know, the thing is that you try something and it works, and you know, you continue to use it. But I think our problem there was that yeah, the wicket was not something that we're used to. It was very slow, and the New Zealand bowlers, they know exactly what to do, and we just couldn't come to terms with their bowlers. When you started your innings, did you have a target score in mind? Well, actually, looking at the wicket, you know, he looked good. He looked pretty good, and I think anything like 230, 240 would be a very good score. But then after the match started, and you know, realized that it wasn't a very hard surface, we realized we'd struggle a little bit, especially with the sort of bowlers that New Zealand has. You know, they're not that quick, so and the ball wasn't coming out of the bat, so it was very difficult for a batsman to really get into our strides. You know, but as I said before, we've got to give them credit. They know the job, they stuck to it, and they came out on top. Martin, a word about the batting of Mark Greatbatch for the 2nd weekend in a row, who's gone out and blasted opposition fast bowlers.
He would have surprised us up in the dressing room to see him charging Malcolm Marshall and then Curtly Ambrose. But the thing was, he had to show some guts and show that you know, he was out there and there to do a job, and he took him on, and that's just what we want.
And both of these teams now go south. In New Zealand, the West Indies go down to Wellington to play India at the Basin Reserve in a couple of days' time. The New Zealand team head to the deep south of New Zealand to play India in their 6th match in the preliminary round, that game at Carisbrook in Dunedin. So New Zealand the winners over the West Indies by 5 wickets here at Eden Park in Auckland. New Zealand still the leaders in the bench.